So welcome back to a rather unstable weather Donington.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying your time here so far today?
We haven't seen much of it. We got here, we played, we came off, we ate, and we did promo.
That's all you've seen of
That's all
Donington
we've
so
seen
far?
it so far.
Yeah, we can hear Alice in Chains kicking a significant amount of ass right now. But yeah, other than that, it's been a work day, a good day.
I think Damon said it earlier. The great thing about doing these kinds of things in Sweden Rock, down is you get to reconnect with a lot of your old buddies that you don't get to see for
Must
a
be like
year,
a big reunion party for you guys.
You know, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? What about a bing bong? You know, so there's a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
You know, backstage.
Hardly any time to actually play it.
Yeah.
Well, I have found that over here, especially in the UK, everyone knows Ricky Warwick. Everyone worships Scott Gorham. So it's kind of cool. And I saw Mike Inez from Alice in Chains. I haven't seen that guy in 10 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's
Looks
cool.
a little different.
Very. It's cool to get to be a part of it.
Excellent. How did you find your set today, apart from the horrible weather that was going on?
Well, you know, we went on kind of cold. We haven't played for a little while. So we had a little dry rehearsal session in the caravan there. But 2 or 3 songs in, you start to loosen up. Then, like you say, the weather comes in. So you're kind of fighting all the elements all at the same time. But when you see the audience down in front of you and they're having a kick-ass time, it translates right back to us on stage. And then now we're having a kick-ass time.
Excellent.
So all the negative stuff goes out. And you start having fun together.
Great. So it's like one of your first few shows now, I guess, where you've been playing under the Black Star Riders
This
name.
is our 6th show.
6th show, okay,
Yeah.
so still quite new in that
Yeah.
respect. Are people treating you any differently now? They have to call you under that name, or?
I think that's a great question. Yes and no. I mean, I think they are. I think that obviously people have now, most people have got the album, so they're interested in hearing the new songs. I think we're all happy and a little bit surprised about how well the new stuff's been going down. It's been going down great on all the gigs, and we're just blessed that we're in a situation where we have the killer new stuff and an amazing catalogue of Lizzie songs to choose from.
Yeah.
So I think people are getting it. I think they understand why we did it. I think we've talked about it enough. So now let's get out there and show them what the band's all about. Jimmy DeGrasso's coming in drums. Hear that, Jimmy? I'm giving you love. It's complaining I don't give him enough love. Jimmy DeGrasso, a fabulous drummer.
Jimmy DeGrasso,
from
okay.
Bay Area, who's just so amazing, has come in and made this band everything that it should and will be in the future. And apart from that,
Your nose is growing, bro.
I
think there's a lot of curiosity around this too. You know,
Sure.
they want to see what the transition is like for a band like us who go from these sold-out tours to now you got to take a couple of steps down. Let's see how these guys handle this. Let's see how they actually perform the new album. So there's a lot of that, a lot of curiosity there.
Is it fun for you guys, like having the opportunity to kind of like take a few steps back, as it were, and then trying something like a different route?
I think we're all having a great time.
We're having a blast, and at the same time, it's just very interesting. Like every gig is a new experience. Reading the audience, talking to the fans after the show, and getting their feedback. Because as Scott said earlier, it was the right thing for us to do, and it was also a pretty ballsy move on our part to step away from the security blanket of the Thin Lizzy name to do this. So I think not only do our peers and the other bands respect that and recognize that, but I think the fans do as well.
Does it feel almost like a weight off your shoulder now that you're not having to play under the Thin Lizzy name? You can get out there with your new material as Black Star Riders and be like, this is what I am now.
I think weight is probably maybe the wrong word.
Wrong word, but I couldn't think of another one.
There was never really any weight. Anyway, because we all so loved, the Thin Lizzy songs and being in Thin Lizzy. It's just a whole different path now that we get to take. The weight side, if you want to put it that way, it's now we're kind of released in the writing sense. Now we don't have to go that path. We don't have to go down. We can take any path we want to now. Kind of create our Black Star Riders sound. Which we're still developing as we speak. So that's kind of a cool thing.
No, when I first heard the first single that came off the album, I thought, wow, it's like a fresh sound. I mean, for me personally, it reminded me of one of my other favourite bands, was Dropkick Murphys. I loved that kind of like Irish sound that's coming into that. I just loved it. Are you getting new fans through this? Are the old Thin Lizzy fans staying by you with all this new stuff?
Absolutely both.
Excellent news.
Which is really cool. You know, it's all of a sudden now we've reached people in Australia, in America, places where maybe Thin Lizzy was taking a little bit of a dip.
Sure.
Black Star Riders is starting to kind of bloom in those in different countries. So that's pretty cool.
How do you find this gentleman here? You obviously had quite some shoes to step into when you took on the role of the frontman.
Well,
How has he done?
Well, no, Joe Elliott from Def Leppard called me up one day and says, I got this guy in my studio. He's doing his first solo album. He says, I think your guitar playing would be great. And I said, well, who is it? He goes, this guy named Ricky Ward. I said, Rick, I know Ricky Ward. So I flew over there, and I was only supposed to play on one song. I ended up playing like, what, 5 songs?
Absolutely easy, yeah.
I was having a blast. So when it came time to who's going to sit in the middle, who's going to take the heat in Thin Lizzy, who's got the balls to do this, right? Joe Elliott called me once again and said, hey, remember that guy? And I jumped all over Joe, and I said, give me his number, and I called up Ricky, and he was like more than ready for that, and that's kind of when the whole ball started to roll at that point.
You were saying a minute ago how now with all your new music you can reach countries which Thin Lizzy might not have reached originally, like back in Australia and the US. Are you guys planning on getting over there sometime soon? I know that my friends in America really can't wait to see you guys again.
We're going in August.
Excellent
We
news.
started tour in August for 4 weeks, and then we hit Europe and UK. I mean, that's the thing about this band, the thing about Lizzy. Myself, Scott, and Damon and Mark, we're the ones who want to tour. We're the ones who want to get out there and do the 100 shows a year.
And Jimmy DeGrasso.
And Jimmy DeGrasso. Well, we're Brian, and that's why Brian and Darren, departed from Lizzy. They didn't want to do that amount of road work, which is fair enough. We love touring, and these songs were written to be played live, and that's what we're all about.
Hell, we recorded it live.
Exactly.
That's kind of the main difference between this band and the way we recorded this album to any of the Thin Lizzy albums besides Life and Dangerous. We actually did the whole album live in the studio. So it enables us, the confidence is high every time we walk out because we know we can play the songs.
Is that something you guys prefer doing, trying to attempt to record something more live and in the moment rather than doing different?
We didn't know.
I was going to say, we have to give Kevin Shirley some credit there. He had heard the demos that we recorded, and I think he felt pretty confident that we at least knew where all the major traffic was going to be as far as performing the song. So we really tip our hats to him to say, look, guys, you're a great band already. Let's record it that way. Let's get in a room together, mic everything up. Ricky's in the booth singing live. And I hope we do the next one like that. It's great.
Well, maybe one more week.
One more week with Scott, so he can watch more American football.
Don't blame you.
No, it's 12 songs in 12 days.
Nice
Basically,
going.
just took our live setup, screwed it down into the studio. Jimmy DeGrasso counted us in, and it was a song a day, and that's how we work.
So as you go out now with the new name and the new songs, are you slowly going to fade out the Thin Lizzy songs, or will they always kind of be a staple part of your set now?
Yeah, it's a good question. We've only got one album to work with, right? So when we get to the second album, we can pick and choose the Thin Lizzy songs that seem to fit in with the Black Star Riders set at that point, instead of half and half in the set. So at some point, we probably won't ever not play a couple of Lizzy songs.
Well, it's another great question you're asking, and I think maybe each of us may feel a little bit differently. Personally, I would love for us to even delve deeper into the Lizzy catalog and maybe put some songs in the set that we didn't play all the time as Thin Lizzy. You know what I'm saying?
Like the B-sides and stuff that we haven't heard for a long time.
There's such a wealth of great material there, but it's just as I think back to the show today, playing the new songs, watching the reaction of the fans, seeing how it's coming together for us on stage, that we're getting such a charge out of that. I'm sure that when we have a second album's worth of material, maybe there won't be as many Thin Lizzy songs in the set, but we still love playing them.
Killer booth, by the way.
A little bit muddy now, but they've survived so far.
Get some character.
You can see what they're going to look like cleaned up, man.
Yeah, they look nicer when they're cleaned up, I assure you. So when can we next catch you on tour in the UK?
November. We start in November. I'm not sure when the first shows. The dates are all up on the website. blackstarriders.com. All the dates are up there.
So any lasting messages you want to send out to the internet viewers today?
We'll see you in November. Be there.
Don't pick your nose and eat it.
Oh!
Yeah, that.
And
Seriously,
that, yeah.
thanks, guys. You've helped us launch this thing in such a way that we were not expecting. You've been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
All right. Thanks.